Hello, everyone. Good evening, Adab, Namaskar, and Sat Sri Akal. This month of March has been so special, so amazing for me because March signifies progress, prosperity, and success in every walks of life. And why not? When you have a push of motivation and inspirational story to share with each one of us every night in this mega series, I, Sandeep Bogra, motivational speaker and author, life and relationship coach, is so proud and blessed to organize in lieu of upcoming International Women's Day, wherein we are happily inviting and showcasing 8 success stories, inspirational series from 1st to 8th March every night at 8 o'clock right here. And tonight, it's something magical. It's something special. It's something sensational. And why am I saying so? Because tonight, we are going to amalgamate 2 different platforms into one and bring you something online, live, on this digital world, a personality, a star, a celebrity who's associated with ZTV. Yes, I'm talking about someone who's not just a founder and CEO of Antrajal, not just a president of Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, but a special, a mega star in herself. And she's here to delight us, to inspire us, to motivate us with her success journey. So, with humble hands, I warmly welcome, with all my love, Miss Deepika Bahari on the show.
Hi, Sandeep.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. I know
Thank you.
you've been super occupied, and it's real blessing. And I'm so honored. I'm so privileged that you've spared this valuable time and given it to all of us, because everyone's gonna learn something amazing to take away in their life and build their own journey of success.
Thank you so much, Sandeep, for inviting me to this platform. And I believe आपने एक ही सेंटेंस में मेरा सारा 1 hour का डिस्क्रिप्शन दे दिया जो मैंने सोचा था मैं बात करूंगी.
Well, ma'am, the fact is that, when someone like me happens to learn about, read about a personality like you, we are so privileged, we are so inspired, we are so motivated and thrilled in life that we just forget about everything else, and we can go on and on and on describing your mega qualities, because as I said, the list is endless. But
Sandeep,
we'll begin it from somewhere.
Yeah, I am still in the making of a personality. I'm just a person.
And that's the unique quality of someone like you, who's always so humble, always so grounded. The roots are so strong, and that's why you have a way too long to go. So why don't we begin with your journey, and ma'am, tell us something about yourself.
Okay, Sandeep, I'll start with my introduction. I'm born to incredible parents, and I was born in Kanpur. I had an amazing upbringing. My parents have given me the best of education, and I should appreciate that I was always treated at par with my brother. There were no discriminations, and we
Wow.
both had equal opportunities in terms of sports and education and everything. And the blessing was such that I was again married to a equally amazing family where my in-laws was very are in fact. And so that was a beginning of the journey, I must say, my childhood until I got married. And what else do you want to know, Sandeep?
Well, ma'am, what I gather right now is that well begun is half done. And as you rightly said, that, the kind of support and the environment you've been born and brought up with has really helped you to carve your own journey. And that reminds me of something to really go a little back in time and know about your life as a student.
Okay. Uh, I'll be very honest over here because maybe some of my classmates are also, and some of our teachers are also watching. I was never a very brilliant student till class 10th. So, although I had the best of schooling, I was in Methodist High School, which was one of the best convents in Kanpur.
Hmm.
But I was not considered to be one of the best students, although all the students over there were very meritorious. But once I was allowed to choose my subjects, that is, once I entered class 11th, I chose commerce. And that became a real turning point for me. I excelled in my studies. I was one of the toppers in the class, and that's what made me very, very confident coming out of my shell. Once you believe in yourself. So that was the point when I started believing in myself, and it was to that extent that here I'll mix up my journey of beginning of my career and my studies. Why? Because when I was merely in class 11th and 12th, you could say, I started teaching my juniors. So
Oh, wow.
how and why did it started? That I was studying in at the end of class 11th, you could say I was performing brilliantly, and we were going to a coaching center where we had around 20 to 25 students in one batch, and my teacher really believed that I had a very good quality of expressing what I wanted to say. And he you could say he uh, kept me as an assistant, that you could please assist me in teaching some of the weak students. And there where I started my career also, because when once I started this journey of teaching, I found it
Hmm.
very, very interesting, and that is what pulled me in.
Wow.
So after doing my class 12th, immediately I started my own coaching center, which was not a very big center, you could say, but then a coaching classes, you could say. And
Hmm.
immediately I started teaching classes 11th and 12th, commerce, business studies, accounts, and economics. So I had a
All right.
good batch of 25 to 30 students who were coming to my home. My
Hmm.
parents were really very, they used to encourage me for doing whatever I used to do at that time, where most of the parents did not allow. And that has been a blessing for me. I started my career very early in my life, because I was teaching class 11th and 12th. When I was in BCom first year, I immediately got a job in a school where I could teach class 11th and 12th.
Wow. I mean, somewhere close at the age of 18, when youngsters are literally looking forward to get their driving license, to get their hold on their car, and maybe have the right to vote. Well, you had already begun your journey of success. And there's another amazing quality which you've showcased in your early childhood days, that it doesn't really matter what your grades or your performances have been, but then it's just one fine day, one moment which changes everything. And uh, to take it little further, how you transformed that and how you built upon that quality, that not just you became amazing in your studies, you had that confidence of handling public speeches, and you were proudly called upon to be an assistant with your teacher. But you also started with the concept which rarely people understand, that to build upon your knowledge, it is always a wise move to start teaching others.
Very true. And Sandeep, I never shied away from doing small things. Like, even like I said, my teacher asked me, although I was not in need of any kind of pocket money, or my, I never ever thought it in that way, because I always thought of helping others. So that's
Yeah.
how I started, that without anything, any expectations in exchange, I started teaching just 1 year junior to me, or maybe who were facing difficulties in the same batch, my same classmates who were weak in studies. I used to assist them. So that's how I myself, I had a command over my subjects. And very early in my life, I got to pursue my job, because when I applied in the best of schools, even when I was not a graduate, they accepted me.
And I'm sure about it because the world is watching you right now live with me, and I'm so grateful to you for being here with me tonight because there's so much to learn from you. I mean, I'm really confused, being in front of such a personality, and trust me, I will still mention you like that while you're so humble to believe yourself as a person, as a beginner. But that's the thing which has brought you here. And let's take it a little further, from your student life, from your early career start, and of course, it was a brilliant move. What next came, and what was the transition?
Uh, Sandeep, like a typical Indian family, my parents also got, found a good match for me, and I was married at the age of 21,
Hmm.
21 plus maybe. And I was on the verge of completion of graduation. So I did my BCom, and thank god my in-laws and my parents, they both guided me to pursue my post graduation. So don't think that when I got married I left my studies, and all. So I pursued my MCom, then I did my B.Ed, because I was interested, always interested in teaching. And
Right.
by this time where I'm saying I got married, I never ever diverted from my career. I was always into teaching. I continued it. I was blessed with a daughter. Then after 2 years of my marriage, and then thereafter, after 1.5 year, I had a son. So now they are in class 12th and class 10th respectively. And
Hmm.
by the time they were in class fourth and fifth, I already had a experience of 10 years in teaching, and thereafter I was promoted as a vice principal in one of the schools. So both ways, in my family life I kept growing, in my career I kept growing. So I had to keep a balance of both, wherein I respected my time in terms of what was my time in school and what was my family time, what was my time with my friends. So I always kept a balance in everything I did.
Wow. And, ma'am, being a life and a relationship coach, many times people turn up to seek guidance around how to maintain that work life balance. And I guess whomsoever has joined us live tonight will be delighted, will be grateful to you, will be feeling it like a blessing in this mega month of March when we are celebrating Women's Day. That we have real life example in front of us in the form of someone like you who's been sensible enough to maintain equitable balance in everything, and which stems from two important things I would like to highlight here: the support and the friendly environment which you got from your parents, and something many people, many wives, many Indian females tend to miss, which is post married life. They're not really able to get that support, that kind of comfort from their in-laws or husbands, which I believe you are blessed with. And I must appreciate your in-laws, your husband, and the entire family back home in Kanpur for bringing to us someone like you. And now, when your daughter is in 12th, I'm sure you must have a glimpse of your old school days in her, and she's going to make you proud as well, just like you are blessing the entire world.
Very true, Sandeep. As you've mentioned, that my in-laws in Jammu and my parents in Kanpur have been equally supportive. Although I tried to balance my life in both ways, but it would haven't been possible without the support of my parents, that is my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. Because I always believe, जैसे आप कह रहे हो कि why can't women sometimes manage and balance their lives? It's only because sometimes we take the pressure. Supposingly I'm teaching in a school, but I take back the pressure at home, and what I do is I pour it out on my kids.
Mhm.
And similarly, if I have nobody to look after my kids, and I know that my kids are not safe at home, or they are, roaming here and there, and nobody is there to look after them, I will never be able to do justice with my job. So if I am at job, I have to make sure that my kids are safe and they are also studying, they are leading a secured life, and similarly, so it's vice versa.
Very true, very true. And I'm sure people are so loving it. They are pouring in with their comments. Thanks for an invitation to another intellectual session Wow, inspirational for all females in the family. And many of them are mentioning it's a great going, very nice interview, ma'am. Indeed, why not? Because life, I believe, is like a mayajal. It's a myth wherein you have to figure out how you need to balance your reality of life with what's your desire and what's running in your mind, and you've done it so well. And this mayajal reminds me of something creative at your end, which I've learned about, is antrajal. So why don't you throw some light on that, being a founder and CEO of antrajal?
Yes. Antrajal is one of my child. So I can proudly say that yes, I have another child which I have brought up with my own hands, and that is called Antrajal. Antrajal, many people ask me, how did Antrajal, the word came to my mind, but I can just say it was very simple. What do you call internet in Hindi? Come on, Sandeep, tell me, what do you call internet in Hindi?
Well, pardon me, I'm not really sure about it.
So the answer is Antrajal. So that's how Antrajal came to my mind. When I was into teaching, and my husband got posted to Chandigarh. That was way back in 2003. So
Hmm.
we came here. I applied for a few jobs, but you could say fortunately there were few rejections because it was in the middle of the year, and the senior post of all the good schools, or you could say the leading schools of Chandigarh, were already filled. So
Right.
I had a struggle, finding a good job, and there I have never imagined myself to wake up without an ambition. Every day I wake up and it is with something in my mind, something going on, and I just cannot sit idle. So I just thought of doing something for myself. And
Hmm.
again I thought ki job to job hai, and job means you are a slave. Although it
Right.
could be the best of jobs, but still you are working for somebody. I just thought of doing something for my own. I started writing not for only myself, but a few blogs, even for others. I started making YouTube videos where I used to teach English chapters to junior 5th to 10th, and then 11th, 12th, commerce and business studies, whatever my expertise was in. But
Right.
very soon I realized that again this is not something, I need something big. I need something bigger than this. And I started my own company called Antrajal. It was a very very humble beginning. I never ever even imagined that we would one day be called one of the leading companies of Chandigarh. But yes, it had a very humble start with one employee, and that is me. I started the company. I used to write content. I used to do a little bit of designing from here and there, and do a little bit of work, and then we hired a graphic designer.
Hmm.
Slowly and gradually, within this journey of say 6 to 7 years, now we are blessed to have 20 people, and most of them are women. I try to employ women in my enterprise and try to help them out in whatever best manner I can. So this is what we are doing with Antrajal.
Wow. And uh, this brings me to another yet very important thing. I would really, really want to know that, as you mentioned, it was a one man army in the start, and over the years, you've grown up. What I understand, Antrajal is into digital marketing. Correct me if I'm
Yes,
wrong, right?
yes, yes.
And while the world has seen a surge in digital marketing, online media presence, and uh, literally right now we are also having this conversation from the comfort of our home, and the world is watching. I'm really grateful to all the audience out here who's been with us. uh, I believe that you've been really, ma'am, ahead of time, because when you started this, people were still too much into um print media, TV, radio, and all those traditional methods of reaching out to their audience. But you were really somebody who was the torchbearer in this industry, who took this stride and uh, really upscaled it in such a manner that when the world was just beginning to learn it last year in the pandemic time, you were already there with your banner held high across the sky that yes, Antrajal is there to catch hold of the entire Antrajal down the earth. What do you have to say about it?
Very true, Sandeep. And here I'll give you a catch. um, I was when I was during my formative years, maybe in class 6, 7th, my father always insisted me to read newspaper, and I used to hate it. I used to hate it like anything, because
Hmm.
all the negative news of, robberies and killings and, all these things, and politics, I was never ever interested in it. But
Yeah.
it was a routine just to show him that I am reading the newspaper. I used to, hold it in my hands and, go through it once in a while. uh, and this habit still sticks with me. And how I came into digital marketing is that when I was searching for the job for the post of a principal, as I mentioned you, in Chandigarh in
Yeah.
2003, I used to go to the classified column and always used to see that there is a vacancy for content writers and something like digital marketers coming up. So
All right.
it used to, yeah, so it used to, amaze me that the foreign clients are looking for digital marketers. And this
Hmm.
really pulled me in, because I was already making videos for YouTube. Then
Right.
I thought, मेरी अपनी वीडियो पे जो मैंने थर्ड पार्टी को डाली है, it is getting again 1 million views or something, so people are interested in listening to me. So,
Very
although
true.
I did not pursue that, I did not open up my own YouTube channel or maybe took it forward, but I
Hmm.
went more deeper into it. I learned what is digital marketing. So that's how I landed up from teaching into digital marketing. And why
Hmm.
it pulled me so much was that, since I told you that I was in the now in the admin job, because teaching was no more, I had gone above that, and we were more into vice principal post and principal's post. So there we needed a lot of physical work as well. Mental to tha hi, a lot of, going around the school, and till evening used to stay, because of even if any problem used to occur with the bus conductor or bus driver, the principals used to stay back. We used to stay back to counsel them. And
Hmm.
this suddenly came to my mind, ki, how long will it go? I'm already reaching a age of 35, and how long can it go on? And then I
Yeah.
started to realize that digital marketing can be done from the comfort of your home. You can be with your family, you can spend time with them, and then it can be done alone as well. You don't need a team for that. So
Very
that's
true.
how I was pulled into digital marketing world. So yes, I am ahead of time. I diversified when the, it was need of the hour. I diversified.
And ma'am, I would really say that, all those schools, all those posts in the middle of the year in Chandigarh, when you were fortunately able not to get those jobs, because otherwise we won't have been witnessing such a gala event tonight. And I'm so proud and blessed to have you with us. And the world is watching. I mean, we have a business coach, Mr. Harish Mehta. He's watching us live from Mumbai, and he deals with
Oh,
the corporates globally, and I'm sure he will resonate with your idea to diversify and be ahead of time, not just to stay afloat but beat the competition. And so are amazing feedback and comments coming from Nisha ji, Karthik, Shivani, Himanshu ji, and there are so many, Miss Ekta, Sudha Jain, and lots more. I mean, the list is endless, and why not? I mean, when we have somebody like you who's an exemplary in every field, I guess those who missed our previous interviews, and if they watch this show tonight and this very special episode, they are going to get everything. And while you mentioned that you didn't really start your own YouTube channel, but trust me, with folded hands, I am blessed to host this live interview on my YouTube channel, and it will be one of my treasured moments forever till the last breath of my life. And
thanks
when
a
we
lot.
talk about life, I want to understand that while you had a humble start and now you've grown your Antrajal and it's one of the biggest in North India, as we see that every journey has certain hiccups, there are certain roadblocks we encounter our way to success. Maybe some instance you felt a little challenging, and how did you really overcome on your
No,
way to build
Sandeep.
this business?
No, Sandeep. I don't even remember anything blocking my way. I really don't remember. I think maybe sometimes, but I overcame them with ease, and I really don't remember anything that has stopped me from achieving whatever I wanted.
And ma'am, you may be surprised why did I ask this to you, but I could really read your mind in a sense that I'm sure even if there was any stumbling block your way, your mindset is so strong and it's so focused that you won't have really bothered about anything on your journey to success. And
Thanks a lot, but I really don't remember. I'm being very honest over here.
well, I'm sure about it because being honest, being humble, being focused, being grounded. I mean, your list of qualities are again endless, as are your
Oh,
accomplishments.
oh, please, Sandeep. Hmm.
And this is for sure because whatever I'm saying is the world is witnessing. As recently, you've been a jury member with ZTV, and as I said, it's an amalgamation of two different platforms tonight, a digital and a TV world. So why don't you tell us something about your journey with ZTV?
Sandeep, I was called as a jury member for there is an
Hmm.
upcoming program in ZTV called Jazba. They are covering very inspiring stories, mostly of which are women. So
Hmm.
that's the reason they had put me in the jury as I am one of the again CEO of a company, and then I am the president UT, that is for the Union Territory for Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So that's why I was involved over there, and I am really I could say that I am proud to rub shoulders with one of the best jury members present over there. So that is again a blessing from God that I was chosen.
And we are so blessed that we are able to share this screen with you right now, just like you've been rubbing shoulders with the big wigs in the industry. And it's been an honor and blessing. And I don't mind reiterating it over and over and over again. Because trust me, tonight, even in my dreams, I'm going to remember every single moment, every second of this gala show where people are so much in love with you. Asha Nebji says, such an intelligent and brave girl. And yes, of course, you made your parents proud. I'm sure your family, your in laws, your husband, everyone's so delighted to see you, the way you've grown. And uh, that really brings me to another thing which you brought up, that in your team of people working under Antrajal, majority of them are women. And the
Yes.
kind of and the kind of experience you have created for yourself and everyone around you. You've been handling a coveted post of president of Women India Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Tell us something about yourself, about your vision, especially for uh, women empowerment, because I really feel you are pretty much close to it in terms of your upcoming show as well on 8th of March.
Yeah. So, Sandeep, see, I have always believed in educating and empowering a girl or a woman. I believe if you educate a girl, you educate the whole civilization.
Wow.
She is the one, why she is the one who will join another family. She is the one who will give birth to children. Even if not, her nature is of such that she'll try to enlighten everybody, those who are touching her life. So if you have an option, you have limited resources, and you have I'm just giving an example, and if you have two children, I would request you to educate your girl rather than educating your son. People prefer the other way round. They say the girl is going to leave the house, and educating a boy is like investing in your own self. I believe
Yeah.
in the opposite. I believe you educate a girl, you are giving privilege to two houses. She'll leave your house, she'll go to the other, she'll lighten the candle over there as well. So that's how I say that empowering women, educating them, is educating the whole civilization.
So what I understand is that, ma'am, your inherent quality of challenging the obvious is what really sets you apart and makes you achieve remarkable results wherever you go.
Thank you, Sandeep.
And then, for many novice in their field and beginners and entrepreneurs who are just embarking upon their journey, uh, what's that one piece of advice, or maybe more, because there are endless things to learn from you, you would share with them who's beginning their journey, maybe as an entrepreneur or maybe starting their career in their chosen field?
Okay, see, the first advice I would give is never have a plan B. If you have a plan B in mind, you will never work for plan A. And I'm sure you will fail in plan A. Why? Because
Absolutely.
all the time you are thinking about plan B. Because if I will not succeed in plan A, I'll go to plan B. And that's where the catch is. You don't have to make a plan B. You have to, by hook or by crook, you have to achieve plan A. Whatever you think is possible today, did you ever think that we would be conversing on a laptop sitting at the comfort of our home? Somebody amongst us discovered this. Somebody discovered Uber, somebody discovered Zomato, and all these were wonders. If you talk about 10 years down the line or 10 years back, I could say, in
Actually,
2000, did you ever think that we would have achieved all these things? But somebody made it possible. So today also, for any person who's starting a business, he has to just have a spark and has to think something out of the box which nobody else has. You don't have to cheat, you don't have to copy someone, you don't have to search for the internet and research for business ideas. It should be there in your mind, and you should have the power to get it incorporated. Money, people, what is business about? It is about earning money. I say money and success are the byproducts.
absolutely.
So that's it,
Very
Sandeep.
true. Very true, ma'am. And in fact, uh, I'll just quickly share something about myself that, I've been a chartered accountant and more management consultant with over a decade experience in India and Middle East. But then going with my passion, living it in my dreams and reality 24/7 over the last 10 years. Simultaneously, I came with this idea to get into personality development and personal transformation for people out there. And eventually, when I have come into this as a full time, many friends and relatives turn up and ask me, "What if you fail? What if this doesn't really work?" Uh, while I never really revert them in a negative manner as to what you're talking about. But tonight, after really learning the fact that what I have thought about is something successful mega personalities like you really believe and do, and that is there is no plan B. I mean, I my surname is with B Bogra, but I still carry with only plan A, because when you are looking at options or alternatives in life, it's when you tend to lose your focus.
Very true.
And since we are having this conversation about discovering things and the kind of innovations and inventions which have happened, which somebody had never really thought of or ever imagined back in 2000, trust me, until last week, I had never really imagined that I'll be able to discover a gem like you, and I'll be able to showcase it during one of my inspirational success story series, which I feel blessed that I have conceived it. And it's going like a stellar show, all cause of you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Please, Sandeep, I'm already on cloud nine.
Yeah, I mean, that's where one ought to be, I believe. What's the point being down the line when you can be on cloud nine, isn't it?
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Right. And this brings me to yet another thing. Since we are talking about women and females in our society all these days, there's one thing very important I tend to ask every celebrity guest I have with me each night. What's your key advice or suggestion for Indian housewives in particular? Because they generally tend to believe that they are not really doing much bigger things in life like the corporate or working women out there in the society.
Come on, Sandeep, how can a housewife think, if you're raising an individual? What is a housewife doing actually? She's raising an individual. Maybe she's not a mother, but if she's a mother, she's upbringing a child. That child will one day become a citizen of a society. She has a
Right.
very big responsibility on her shoulder. If that citizen is not responsible, what will the society be? So, firstly, a housewife has a whole big responsibility of upbringing a citizen of the society. So, we have to really think it's a very, very big job. Secondly, even if she doesn't bear children and she is doing the daily household chores, uh, recently I read it again in the newspaper, although I didn't read it very carefully, that
Mhm.
even the housewives deserve a pocket money for whatever they are doing, because they are spending their time doing it. They could have, if a opportunity cost is involved, they could have joined another job, left the household, and who will do it? Somebody, you will employ somebody. So even they deserve something, a small amount, a pocket money amount, which they feel is fit for them. So housewives should never think that they're not doing something big. I think that's the, and there is always time. When the time is right, they can pursue their dreams. Although for the time being, like when you're married, you need to settle up in a relationship. You are in a new relation, you are in a new role. You are in the new role of a daughter-in-law, of a sister-in-law, and of a wife. So first you need to prove that you are best fit for these roles. Once you prove, your in-laws will start supporting you, that yes, you are a deserving person who needs to prove her worth in this society, in the eyes of the society, and in your own eyes. And you don't need to prove yourself in front of everybody. It's just that you are justifying yourself about what you're doing. तो अगर
Right.
आप एक रोल में फिट हो जाती हैं, तो आपको अपने आप आपके जो आउटसाइडर्स या आपके जो घर वाले हैं उनका सपोर्ट खुद मिलना स्टार्ट हो जाता है, एंड यू कैन सी दैट. सो फर्स्ट
Actually.
ट्राई टू फिट इन अ न्यू रिलेशनशिप, एंड देन you can obviously pursue your career.
Wow. I mean, uh, coming from the commerce background and really understanding even the technical side of it, what you've said that, the entire contribution of housewives, the females in Indian households back home, is not really included in the GDP of the country. And what if it really was? We would have skyrocketed in terms of global rankings. And coming to it in a layman language, what we understand that we need to prove our self worth, we need to inculcate the habit of self love, and we need to start loving and appreciating ourselves for ourselves to begin with, because it's when the people around you in your home, in your vicinity, your neighborhood, and the society at large is going to really respect you and value you.
Thank you, Sandeep. Yeah.
Great. And while we are coming close to the end of this conversation tonight, and trust me, I don't really want to put an end to it, because what we have learned tonight from you is probably a start, and definitely a great thing for me to get back and incorporate in my thought process, in my learnings, and take my and everyone's who joined us tonight, their journey to a much mega scale. And sky's the limit when we have inspirational success stories to share, coming directly from somebody like you. And we are so proud and blessed to have you again. But, well, I'm not going to leave you before I ask you something, and that is to describe yourself in one word.
Oh my God. In one word,
Yeah,
stubborn.
I love it. I love it, ma'am. And before I say something about it, why don't you share what really makes you feel that you're stubborn and how does that really help? Because I'm sure many people would like to know about it.
Um, I really did not think about anything. It was the first thing that came to my mind, that yes, I am very ziddi, I am very stubborn, and sometimes um, I go out of my way to get what I want. So I am stubborn that ways. I don't know.
Love.
I know it's a disqualification. It is a negative point to be, being stubborn, but I am that ways.
Well, ma'am, with humble hands, I would say that, as a life and a relationship coach, I would really challenge your thought that it is a disqualification, because trust me, being stubborn in your life, in your business, in your thought process is definitely one of the biggest qualities which a handful people, mega personalities like you, are able to inculcate and really give justice to it. And being stubborn reminds me of Ranbir Kapoor's song, Sada Hug Ethe Rag. And with that,
Oh, hmm.
and with that, I am again so privileged and grateful for giving us this hug and this good luck to have you with us tonight. And from the entire audience, from my crew back in Delhi, RJ Rizvi, and the world at large, who's been so blessed to have you. as an inspiration. Thank you once again for giving us your special time tonight. And trust me, this moment, this series, this episode, this conversation will be loved and cherished forever in our hearts. Thank you once again.
Sandeep, I have one line to say
Mhm.
for the audience. They must have heard this Punjabi quote, and but I am there to remind them and repeat it. Dinas bitaya soy ke, no, it is Ren
Ren bitai
Gawai
soy ke.
soye ke dinas bitaya खाए हीरे जैसा जन्म है कौड़ी बदले जाए. So do not waste this precious life of a human being and try to make the most of it.
Definitely, definitely. Wow. I mean, coming back from a common Punjabi family, and I do understand what's the deep meaning and insight in the lovely quote you have shared. And for all the world watching us tonight, it is definitely the key takeaway that yes, life is precious and so you are. So why not make it meaningful, not just for yourself, but everyone around you?
For others. Thank you so much, Sandeep.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining
Take
us.
care.
It was
It was a
amazing. Indeed, the feelings are mutual. And guys, with this, while we are close to the conversation with Deepika Bhariji tonight, there's something more exciting I have yet to share with you, and that is about upcoming International Happiness Day, which falls on 20th of March. But being happy is not just a one day affair. Why not we celebrate it during a course, a journey where I invite each one of you to join me with my co host Shilpa Salve from 11th to 20th of March when I showcase you 10 days, 10 ways of being happy. And here's a quick trailer about it. Go ahead and watch it.
1, 2, 3, come on!
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for pouring all your love and affection, for being with me every night from 1st to 8th of March at 8 p.m. when I am humble and blessed and privileged to showcase this inspirational success series with you. And with this, I'll take your leave. And as Mr. Amitabh Bachchan says, good night, Shubh Ratri,